What's up with my divine kings and queens? We're blessed to be here on Sunday the 1st. It is June the 1st. I want to do a reading for the week of the first week of June. What is the message that collective needs to hear on this first week of June, as these cards will be divinely protected by that of source and only be the message from that of divine source, as I am a vessel to share these divine messages from source. Okay, period. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So it is, so it shall be. I am blessed to be here. We are blessed to be here. I believe the numerology of the day is 1. Let's just do the math, okay? So I can teach you how to do it. And look at the scenery, baby. This is beautiful. It is 6 plus 1, because it's the first, which is 7. And then we have 2025 with automatically equals 9. Remember that, because we don't go backwards and do the math. It's equal to 9. We know 2025 is 9. 7 plus 9 is 6. 16, excuse me. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Throw me off. I thought it would have been 1 for today. So it is the 6th month plus the first day, which is 7 plus 9, 16, 2 plus 7. It's 7, y'all. I don't know what I thought yesterday was 9, so it would have went back to 1. Anyway, I'm so sorry. So let's get back to the message. What does our collective need here for the week of the first week of June, from the 1st to the 7th? Give us our divine message. You are appreciated, spirit. You are so divinely looked up to by this collective. I think we got some very divine messages coming out, because okay. Get maybe 2 more cards for the collective for this week. Alright, and we split the deck. We have Queen of Cups here and the Page of Swords. And so let's just do it. Let's just get it right into it. Right off the rip, we have the Fool. New beginnings, new starts, changes. Basically being able to follow your opinion, not your opinion, your intuition, and move in life with this childlike essence, where you don't know everything, where you don't have to. It's giving that life is ready to expand you, expand your capacity to experience life, and therefore you are being pushed to move into life with this very essence that makes you adaptable, that makes you able to learn more and to see things from a bigger perspective rather than this very, very limited perspective, based on what you know. And of course, we go on life and we experience and we go through things based off of what we know, but sometimes it doesn't benefit us to be so strong minded or to be so stuck in our ways when it comes to experience, because experience does require a certain level of openness. It does require a certain level of open-mindedness, okay? And so you will receive more benefits in your new coming experiences by being able to have this very open mindset and not going into things being so rigid. You definitely want to have boundaries. You definitely want to not be swayed by everything and do your research first and whatnot. But if you're called to something, if your spirit is allowing you to be in something new, or when it comes to new things, it's like you have to be open in pretty much all ways and be able to trust yourself to know that you would know you would know your limits, right? And so it's this big emphasis on the yellow, emphasizing your solar plexus here and your willpower to be able to take action, okay? Because we be in our head about everything. Oh, we want to do this and that, but what are you doing to get it? You have to be open to it. You have to to be open to how that may come, because too, when we manifest, especially if we don't manifest specifically, and there's certain things in life you're not going to manifest specifically about, you like have to have an open-mindedness to receive it, to see it, to know it, to believe it, right? So there's something new coming in this week, is basically what I'm feeling and hearing. And you have to be very much open and have a positive, optimistic look on things, because things don't necessarily always look appealing to the eye. What we see isn't always important. It's what we feel, it's what we know, it's what we hear. So we have to be, aware of that when going into situations, because with the Two of Pentacles, like, you have the sense of balance you want to bring into your life as well, and you want to be able to balance your priorities with these new things you're walking into, because at the end of the day, you're calling in new experiences and you want to experience new things, so you can't be closed-minded to that, and you know that, and you don't want to be. So you're finding out how to, it's like you're learning how to, when to take, guided, um, inspired action versus taking risks and just like being open to receiving and manifesting, in that state of acting versus in that state of being, and just, being receptive and open. So yeah, you at this in this week, in this first week of June, you kind of want to set the stage for the rest of the month. This month seems to bring a lot of different challenges, seems to bring a lot of different hopes and truths and dreams to fruition, especially as we're coming into the summer season. We're getting into the warmer seasons, I should say, and that means that, some of these seeds we planted in the previous times won't just ultimately be will ultimately have we're harvesting that, good or bad. So it's time, kind of take a look at things as well. Look at your garden, see what things you want to weed out, see what things you want to continue to water for the upcoming season, um, and things of that nature, or for the next year. But at this point, it is time to set foundations, and it is also time to expand your capacity to receive, to yeah, to receive and to give. So yeah, you definitely have to manage, your self-care, your spiritual, well, those things kind of go hand in hand, but your spirituality, your rest, your learning, and all these things that you want to do, you're creating, and make it go in a circle for yourself. And basically, you're learning how to pour more into yourself at this during this week. Um, Seeing the things that really benefit you as in your vessel. Um, as we split the deck today, we have the Queen of Cups. Yes, there's a lot of inner work that you've been doing. You've been doing a lot of shadow work, even if it's just those inner dialogues and allowing those things to come up and allowing those conversations to be had within you, so you can identify some issues, so you can identify things you want to change, so you can identify yourself and learn yourself and get a closer relationship with yourself. Ultimately, acknowledging your feelings and giving your feelings a space to be heard, whether it's just within yourself or writing them down, which is even better, or speaking them out to yourself or to other people, which is even better. I mean, we don't have to, necessarily compare, but it's just always good to give the most space as possible to your feelings, so that you can nurture yourself appropriately. During this time of being able to balance new things and having new experiences, basically being open, ultimately ultimately, with all these new things, with these not even new things, but yeah, you're taking new ventures right now. You're at this point in time, I know that you are deciding to take a step towards your future, towards your destiny, by committing to something that is going to benefit you in the future. These things that we may think are lame or bullshit, because we want to just do whatever we want. It's ultimately discipline. Saturn, Saturn confirmation. Saturn. Um, what is the word? I'm so sorry. I'm so chill. But confirmation. Sorry. There we go. Saturn gives the discipline. You know what I'm saying? So during this time, the most that you should be doing is taking care of yourself, is pouring into you, is treating your temple like a temple, okay? Treating your vessel like a temple, giving that temple what it needs, giving those offerings, loving yourself daily. Pouring into yourself daily is literally the best thing you can do, and that's the biggest thing I'm hearing is to give to yourself, is to fuck with yourself, is to love yourself, because all these things we're trying to do in our lives, well, you're not going to be able to have the capacity, see things for what they are, see others for what they are, be able to be grateful, be able to really take things in if you're not fucking loving yourself, period, point blank. Because these things, we want positivity, right? We want love, we want blessings, we want abundance, all the things that we ultimately have within, that we have to uncover and unlearn so many things just to, receive from ourselves. But that is what we have to do. We have to learn how to get that from the inside to continuously to receive it on the outside, and that is what this journey is all about. um, because ultimately, if you already had it all, you wouldn't be as grateful, you wouldn't be as it wouldn't have to hold the same weight as we're receiving it over time and having to go through this journey of remembering yourself, of remembering that love, of letting that love, of embodying love, right? So so really finding, tuning in with your emotions, tapping into your moon sign and understanding yourself on an emotional level, because your emotions are translated through our actions, our words, and everything else that we, in our lives, we see it. It's reflected to us. So you want to be able to look within, especially during Sunday, definitely do some meditation, sit in the sun and let the downloads come, write them down, shadow work, journal. I'm gonna start sharing prompts and shit. But yeah, like really self nurturing is one of the keys here, and I love that. Man. I love this reading because although it's so simple, we don't realize how hard, and it is hard to take care of ourselves, because we were taught to take care of others, to put others first, blah 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 blah. Ultimately, you can't do for others what you can't do for yourself. My friend told me this last night, and I appreciated that because it is true. I can't go against that as much as I may want to, because that shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't be doing things for other people that we can't fucking do for ourselves. And that's not fair. It's not fair to us. And that's just ultimately why. It's not because we don't love that person or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just like you asking a person to teach you how to cook and they never cooked a day in their life. Like, can you cook? Can they cook for themselves? You know what I'm saying? And people have to take their own times, and everybody goes on their own journey when it comes to this healing, when it comes to this learning and growing and evolving. So you can't expect people to do shit that they don't do for themselves, and you can't expect yourself to do things for others that you don't do for yourself. So things you want to do for others are just things, those are ultimately things you want to do for you. Okay? So listen to your intuition, listen to your inner voice during this time. And it's just, it gets easier over time. And when you realize the benefit, and when you realize that you're really loving yourself, that is real love, that it'll get easier. But it's hard to love yourself. It's hard to take care of yourself first because you feel like you're betraying everyone. But once you realize you are loving others by loving you, oh, it's gonna be fun. And to end it off with the Page of Swords, I love this. Like, by way of, you know these internal this internal dialogue that you're having, these conversations that you're having with yourself. Um, you are finding ways to become anew, to communicate better, to be a better version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, new things are coming to fruition to help you elevate and to evolve in you, and you are picking up on this wisdom, and you might be connecting with some spirit guides and like goddesses, deities during this time. Some energies that are there for you to call on, there that they have been always working with you. You might be called to, tap into more into that realm of your spirituality, or taking a deeper dive into the things that you've been called into spiritually, whether that's healing, creating, really taking a step further into it and seeing what you can do, and like really having that confidence, in yourself. And yes, because look, it has on yellow and purple, and then the red. Well, reddish brown. He is grounded in that confidence. He's grounded in that confidence, and he's connected to his third eye to seeing the vision, so he can carry out his vision. Thy can carry out thy vision, so long as you stay connected and you stay confident and you stay confident and connected to your truth. Because if you're connected to anything that's not your truth, ultimately, even if you're doing things that aren't best for you, stay true to yourself, stay real, because you might have to do something that you don't necessarily like to do to get to the next point, whether that be the case. But we want to get into a habit of being honest with ourselves, okay, on a day-to-day basis, because that is true love. You want other people to be honest with you. You want to receive love from other people, and like these are always, not always, but most of the time, um, your own inner desires to receive from yourself. You don't want to lie to yourself, because that is another form of rape. You don't want to deceive your own self, because that is hate. Bars. Stop fucking playing with me. Like, and I love y'all so much. I love this collective. This collective is so profound. We can be hard on ourselves, and it's okay, but it's not, because we love ourselves. But ultimately, too, we don't have to be hard on ourselves to be honest. You know what I'm saying? We can be honest and not be perfect, and you know what I'm saying? Like, but ultimately, this week is showing you who you are. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. Tap into those spirit guides. Do more yoga and more movement. Release more. You deserve to take up space. If you need a reading, tap in to my DMs. I will serve you how you need to be served and what you need to hear. And have a good fucking week. You got this shit. Go conquer the fucking world. I say.